Hey guys, it's Jules, and this is my tier list for the anime of spring 2023. I know we're like 3 or 4 weeks into summer already, but I've been very busy with real life stuff. I've been trying to find a new job, I've been having a bit of vacation time, a lot of stuff. So basically, I just wanted to end spring before I continued on to summer. If anything is missing, it's because it's a show or a sequel that I haven't started yet, so sorry to any sequels that you might not see here. If you want more context on my first opinions or my first thoughts on these, I would strongly suggest checking out my anime recap for the spring 2023 shows. There are a few surprises. I think spring in general was a really strong season. You might see a lot of S tiers here, you might see a lot of A and B tiers, but I'll try to get to that when we get there. I'll try to not go super specific on spoilers. I will maybe vaguely mention some, but I will try to avoid that. You can check on the timestamps and just go into the next anime, but don't worry, I'll try to be vague as possible. As a reminder, this is just my opinion. If you think my opinion is wrong or you want to enlighten me on maybe some shows that might be better than I thought, let me know in the comments, and as always, if you can, give it a like, and yeah. If you notice, this video might be a little less edited, and I'm trying to go as fast as I can so I don't talk a lot. So yeah, this might be all over the place, but I'll try to be as concise as possible when I can. Honestly, don't know where to start because there's a lot. How about an A tier? Dr. Stone Season 3. Pretty solid season. I think what stops me from giving it an S tier might be that the ending feels too open still. Like, you know, this is a first core to the second core that's coming in October. But above everything else, the positives, it still feels like a great show. It still feels very fun, very funny, and it's getting more dramatic and it's getting more to the plot. I enjoy all of the characters. The cast is very well explored, considering there's a lot of people already. Inventions are cool. Senku is a masterclass of a character. Yeah, it's not perfect for an S, but it's always like an A tier with Dr. Stone. Now that I started with sequels, let's go with Gundam. That is a very tough decision. I never got to talk about season 1 of Gundam, and just for context, I liked it. I think I rated it like an 8 out of 10 because I feel the first prologue episode, like episode 0, was really intense, really emotional, really fun. Well, not fun. It was a fun ride, but it's like this crazy prologue to everything that came out and why this world is at war or after the verge of war with all the Gundam and everything. And then we get Saletta, and then we get a lot of the episodes with the school and the characters, which I feel they build the world very well, but I kind of felt that season 1 dragged a lot in the middle episodes. But when it got to the action, when it got to the amazing 2D animation for the Gundams and the robots, was really good. It was the element of this show. And then we got that ending, and holy shit, it was so great how that first season ended. I probably rewatched that scene loads of times. So I was really excited to see what they would do after that. I was kind of worried they would just brush it off and go on, but they explained what happened after that. They explained the war that would be oncoming between the Earth and the space army and all that. And it went full throttle. Like, I feel it was really fun, action-packed, and great, and very freaking dark at times, but I think it might have been too fast-paced again at the middle parts of the season, and I think it went super fast-paced at the end. Ending, I wish we could have got like maybe like an OVA or a special where we got more of an explanation or more detail on how everything ended. No spoilers, but I think it could have been explored more. I could have I would have liked to seen those characters enjoy those moments after everything went out. I don't know. But the highlights of the season were great. The fights, again, the animation, so freaking good. If anything is stopping me from giving it an S tier, is again the pacing, which I think was way too fast. I think a lot of the drama might have been too crazy, and maybe I think they missed the mark in some parts. I just want to be a little bit vague, but yeah. But I enjoyed it, and I think it's a little bit better than season 1. Because yeah, I just really enjoyed the action, and still, since these characters are already well funded and well developed from season 1, I felt a lot of what they were going through. So I think I'm between B plus and an A. I would put it at A for now. But yeah, it's gonna be below Dr. Stone, but it's still, I'm gonna think about it, but it's like an A minus or a B plus. We got the sequel to Birdie Wing. I think it was good, but I think it just went off the rails at the end of it. I honestly don't know. I feel like they rushed over a lot of the plot, well, quote unquote plot, because it's like a shonen anime. Birdie Wing from the first season felt like something like that came out through the 2000s, like 4Kids era. Think something like Yu-Gi-Oh, something like, I don't know, like those kinds of anime, like the Saturday morning kind of anime. I really enjoyed the girls still. I liked the craziness of how seriously they took the golf, but also they didn't give a shit about rules and stuff like that, and how dumb some of the power-ups were. And I was enjoying when they were going through the tournament and how they were slowly growing, but I feel like at the middle of the season, they just went, okay, give a character like a disease or something, and now we have to finish it. And yeah, I feel like we could have gotten like half a season more, or maybe a season more, to explore them, to see their growth and stuff, but it feels like they didn't get like a third season and we're just going to try to close it off. I don't know. I think as a series itself, season 1 was better. I liked how the relationship between the main characters was explored more. This one feels like they had their own battles, and then at the end, at the beginning, at the end, they kind of reconvened, but it wasn't that as good as the first season. I'm between a B minus and a C plus, actually. Right now, I'll put it at C plus, but yeah, it's still good. It's still okay. It's still solid, but I was expecting more by the end of it. So yeah, C might be good. Let's go with one of my surprises, Sacrificial Princess. I did mention that this felt a bit like a Beauty and the Beast knockoff, because yeah, it's a girl who was a sacrifice from the human realm, and she is taken by the Beast realm, or the Beast world, and she's going to be a sacrifice for the Beast King because he feeds on humans and yada yada. It's supposed to be like that, but at the end, he actually tries to save her, and he's actually half human because of a curse he has. And from the get-go, the girl is really spunky, really cute, really funny, and really, like, actually you feel the warmth and how nice she is to this Beast King, who is a bit of a tsundere, kind of, but he's well-meaning, and he's going through this political trouble of trying to better this human realm, Beast realm relationship. And now she came in and she's trying to also help him, and it's really nice. What stops me from giving it anything higher might be some of the side characters aren't that great. I think the animation and designs aren't spectacular. They're good, but I would maybe put this at B. It's a solid B for now, but we're still at the first score. It's actually a 24 episode season, so from what I've seen, which I did reach episode 12, it's really fun. I really like the relationship between these characters. I really like how they're trying to fight the prejudice from the beasts, because normally no humans should be in this world or in this realm. And the way they back each other up, the way she's determined to help him and try to fight off this prejudice is fun. She's determined. It's not as dramatic as you think, but it's actually like still pretty dramatic, still pretty serious at times. Yeah, pretty interesting shoujo anime. I really enjoyed it, and I'm still watching, so yeah, solid B tier. But let's go with an obvious S tier. Let's freaking go. Oshi No Ko, dude. S tier easily. Wow. I was a little bit biased when I heard that Oshi No Ko was from the author of Kaguya-sama, because I was like, anything that's going to be from that guy, from Kaguya-sama, which Kaguya-sama is my favorite rom-com, has to be fire, has to be good. And we got that prologue, that hour-and-a-half prologue, and it was just perfect. The whole situation with what happens with the reincarnated twins, with Aqua and the other girl, it's just so good. I honestly just thought, what worried me, what I said on the video that worried me was, how were you going to top that? Well, how were you going to top the prologue? How were you going to have 12 episodes and still have everybody interested? Honestly, I started it late because I was going to leave it like at the end. I had trouble with keeping up with my schedule. At one night, I binged 8 episodes. No joke. I was glued to my screen. I only heard like the first notes of the ending, which honestly, the ED and the OP are freaking phenomenal. And I was like, oh shit, next episode. I was like that. I had to keep going. I was glued to my screen. I was really enjoying the characters. Doga Kobo, honestly, I don't know where they came from. I know that they did some shows. I think they made My Senpai is Annoying. Maybe I might be wrong with that. I'm not sure. And they blew it out of the park. Basically, the characters are done really damn well with them. The detail on the eyes, the detail on the effects, how they portray the star in their eyes, the captivated audience and all that. It's so good. I am just floored and surprised from what they did with this concept. And I said, whatever the way they explore Aqua, the way that Kana is done, because oh my god, I love these characters. What the author of Kaguya just nails his characters, and I feel when I heard that he was working at like Kaguya-sama, we know that these characters are used for comedy basis, but thinking of how that author, that creator could have done like this kind of story, this kind of serious story that explores more of the entertainment and everything, it's just phenomenal what they were able to do. Yeah, there's not one character in the show that I disliked, and of course I'm just in love with Kana. She's just this great character. I enjoyed Akane's arc. That was an emotionally crazy arc of episodes. Kana's comeback, Aqua's revenge story, Ruby just hanging in there and trying to make Eyes proud. Everything going on in the background, everything just working for Aqua for his revenge, how he tries to manipulate and use his talents to reach his goal. It's just so good. And the drama, the music, the visuals, I don't know what else to say. It's so freaking amazing, and I'm just amazed that Dogakobo could do all of this and just deliver. I think a lot of people fell out of this anime because they felt it was slow, but honestly, if you enjoy character development, if you enjoy world building, if you enjoy the idea of, or them showing you how the entertainment service works in Japan or in the whole world. They talk about YouTube, they talk about TikTok, they talk about going viral, they talk about the idol groups, they talk about acting, they talk about directing. I don't know, man, I really enjoyed all of that. If you're a fan of that, it's going to be a plus for you. It's a solid S tier and might be one of my favorite shows of the season, if not the whole year. I'm still debating where I'll set up my other S tiers, but Oshi No Ko is phenomenal. I would totally recommend it if you just have one inkling of interest on how the entertainment area works. If you like idol shows, if you like YouTubers, if you like well-designed characters, great arcs, and just an amazing plot, Oshi No Ko is for you, man. Let's go a little bit below, I guess. Marginal Service. What a disappointment, because it could look kind of interesting. It's an F tier for me. It felt very exposition heavy, very not interesting. The characters were not fun to watch. I just didn't like how they interacted with each other. And the animation was just meh. There was nothing like spectacular, and in a season so jam-packed, this one was very ignorable. I'm teetering between giving it a D+, but there's a lot of shows that are just better than this one, so we'll see throughout the line. But yeah, no, that one is just mediocre. Let's go with Mashle, the the Harry Potter knockoff. I really enjoyed it. As a shonen enthusiast, I think everything that was going on with the main character was hilarious as hell. I just really like the oblivious, dumb, powerful character like Mash, like One Punch Man. Like, I don't know, it works really well, and the way he was able to fix or try to disguise the fact that he has no magic powers and still be one of the strongest characters around in this school was really funny, really creative, and I loved it. Some of the arcs weren't as quick as they should have been. I don't know. There's something in there that's keeping me from giving it an S tier, but personally, I really enjoyed it. I would put it at A tier, just above Gundam. Again, I enjoyed. They did a really good job at animating like the action scenes, but they also really did really well with portraying the comedic scenes. A lot of goofy gags, a lot of Mash just being Mash, infecting these other characters with his little charm and just his witty banter. And, well, not banter, he was just there, but he was just being Mash, and everybody was just, it's his world, and everybody was just along for the ride. The girl that's in love but doesn't admit it. But she was funny. I liked Finn, the straight man. I liked Dot. I liked Lance. I don't know, man. It's just an enjoyable show that is really not caring on how obvious their copying of the Harry Potter formula is, because it's Hogwarts. They're using the newspaper that looks like Harry Potter. The Malfoy character at the beginning, the portrayal of the elite that hate Muggles. I know there's a lot of similarities, a lot of copying there, but it works so well, and I enjoyed it. It's an A tier for me. Okay, let's go with an isekai, and I think some people enjoyed this, but I honestly couldn't get into it. Oh, the isekai cheat skill or whatever. My cheat skill was very tough, and I became OP in the real world too. Damn, do I hate this show. I honestly couldn't just stomach this show from episode 2 and then episode 3. I mean, I get the power fantasy of this fat guy that was just in the worst situation of his life, ignored by his family, abandoned by his family, bullied constantly, death threats, all that was like over the top bad. Like, oh my god. Then he finds the secret door. By chance, his uncle or his grandpa had the secret door to another world, and he finds it. So now he has a hub where he has the strongest powers, the strongest weapons. Now he's jacked as hell from one night to another. Everybody is like doesn't even recognize him except for the girl he saved randomly. Somehow she knows it's him. Like, how the hell do you know it's him? Who knows? And then episode 2 and episode 3. Well, episode 2 was just annoying. He gets transferred to another school, to this rich kid, like, popular school, because he saved the dean's daughter, which is this girl, which will be the love interest in this show, I'm assuming. One of many, probably. And this school with like all of these interesting, good-looking people, every single person is like staring right at him. Like, stop! Like, okay, we get it, he's new, but they are treating him like a god. Like, okay, guys, he hasn't done anything. He's just jacked. He's just, he's jacked, yeah, basically. But I don't. From everybody else, I don't see, especially at a school at this level, nobody would be this enamored by this guy, you know? And then they're going out at the street and everybody is looking at him as well, like, okay, let's go past this, whatever. He saves the princess and the isekai and move on. Next episode, he's going to be a model, and like, no. I tuned off quick from after that, after episode 3. I don't know if they moved on from that gag, but if they didn't, it wasn't going to be for me. But I wouldn't say it's as bad as Marginal Service, but I wouldn't put it at C tier because Birdie Wing was way better. It's a D tier, but I was kind of hoping it would be better because animation was still good. Designs were kind of iffy for me, but after the way they treated this protag, this overpowered popular protag, I just couldn't get into it. 2-hit kill sister after, well, 1-hit kill sister, well, I'm confusing it with 1-hit kill mom. It's just a wimp of a guy who died, and all of a sudden, once he's almost dead, and he's really thinking about his sister, not his family, just his sister. She gets into a coma and goes into the isekai and saves him because she's OP for some reason. And that was hilarious, but then she's so enamored by him, like, it was so uncomfortable. I understand that Japan doesn't give a heck about sister-brother love, but I despise the incest stuff. So what is making me think if it's a C or a D tier? It's the animation. Out of nowhere, I really like some of the parts. Just feel like they're colored wrong, but whenever they get into the action, it's really good Sakuga. It's animated well. It looks designed well. I like the designs of the characters, if I'm being honest. The isekai feel of the world is there. But what puts it so down on the list would be the interaction between the main characters. I just don't like them being an item. They're brothers. I come on, they're even related by blood. What else do I have to say? So it's better than Cheat Skill, but I don't know if I would put it at C just yet. Maybe I'll have to think about it, but right now it's at top at D tier. Home Hero is an interesting one because visually I did say that it wasn't good. I wasn't super convinced by the designs. The characters had some weird facial expressions at times, but the simple plot of this guy's daughter is dating a killer, and she's probably going to get hurt, and how she's just trying to protect his daughter, protect his family, and he ends up having to kill like the Yakuza guy, and this whole scenario just drops where he's between a mafia that's fighting each other, a dad that is trying to avenge his son, him trying to protect his family, trying to keep this a secret from his daughter, him implying or putting his wife into the situation, or she's trying to put in to help him in the situation. It's just, I don't know, it's just really interesting, really like dramatic, and I really liked it. Maybe the last episodes before the final scenes, because that final scene is really good, like really haunting. Those felt a little bit draggy. I think it was episode 10 and 11. I think we were getting the conclusion, and that second to last episode kind of dragged, and I feel like it could have been quicker, or it could have not been there at all. I don't know. But it did give us the ending, which was phenomenal. I'm kind of stopping on myself from giving it an A because, again, the science and animation aren't that good. It could be a little bit quicker at times. I feel like it dragged a little bit in like episode, I don't know, like 4 to 6 maybe. I'm trying to remember here. But again, it's a solid show if you're into like true crime, if you're into the drama, if you're into like what happens to the human psyche when they have to go through these tough decisions and try to go it alone against like a mafia organization. It's like really interesting, and I really like where they go with this. So yeah, it's a solid B+. Maybe I'll put it at A after everything is said and done, but yeah, it's a B+ over Sacrificial Princess. That's probably like the biggest surprise of the season. Let's go with an F tier. Opus Colors is trash. No substance whatsoever. It's VR art that looks trash. It's just music videos and BL bait. It's an F tier, and probably my least favorite anime of spring 2023. Where to go next? The Aristocrat isekai, where the guy saves a pair of girls who didn't need saving, and now he's the strongest guy, and he's trying to hide it. Same old isekai trash. It's not trash, but it's just, with these isekais, you need to do something new. You need to do something clever that's going to keep me glued to you. You need to maybe have you need to turn into a vending machine or something, because all of these are the same. They get into the isekai, they're overpowered as hell. They're trying to hide their powers. They can't hide it because they're royalty, and so on and so forth. It feels like the same. They're going to get into like a harem stuff. Like, no, the Aristocrat isekai is pretty bad. I don't think it's as bad as Cheat Skill, but it's just not as good as One Hit Kill Sister. It's a D tier for me. Let's go with one that surprised me in the wrong way. Otaku Elf. I was really vibing with it after episode 1. I like the idea of this of this neat elf just living through her donations and using that donation money to buy figurines and video games and food. But she's also getting helped by this straight man girl who wants to be grown up, but she's still a girl, you know. It's cute, it's fun, it was funny in the first episode. I like how the other girl, the elf, is trying to be more mature, trying to, well, not trying, but she's getting pushed into getting out of her shell because she's been like this for years and years because she's immortal. The idea of her having to move on from her current helper and stuff like that was really cute. But after, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 episodes, it felt repetitive. I feel like we had this where there was skits where the elf didn't just wasn't serious enough and just playing around and stuff. She brings on, every episode we had a lesson about ancient Japan and how that compared with modern Japan. And not to be an asshole, but I wasn't really interested in that part. What saves it are the characters. They're serviceable. Main characters are the best, but everybody else is just there, and they're just to be serviceable. I don't know, when I did the recap video, I thought it was going to be like an A or a B. Right now, I'm comfortable in putting it like C tier, maybe above Birdie Wing. I still enjoy the heck out of the opening. The opening is probably top 5 for me from this past season, but everything else, I don't know. It could have been more, it could have been less repetitive, it could have added more, something more funny, because it was funny, but it wasn't laugh out loud funny. So I would still recommend it if you want some slice of life fantasy, but yeah, it's okay as a C tier for me. How about let's go with an S tier, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on this one, Insomniacs After School. What a beautiful anime. It's a typical slice of life romance show. Not rom-com-esque. There is a little bit of comedy here or there, but just the idea of these kids having to go through insomnia and just feeling very seen. I'm gonna be a little bit biased because I did have I am having problems with insomnia. I'm going through getting rid of those. I've been sleeping better these past few weeks, but the whole first minutes of this show say how the main guy explains how insomnia and how he lives through insomnia is, it's just energy taking. It takes away from the energy you have. It doesn't help you during the day. It just makes you feel grumpy. It makes you feel unproductive. Yeah, not being able to sleep, going, just being in a quiet room, just going through your thoughts, trying to see what you did wrong during the day, what you've done wrong during your life. I don't know. I might be going a little bit talking about a lot about my personal stuff, but yeah, I don't like insomnia at all. It's cool when you have like anime to watch, but if you're trying to sleep and you can't, it's torture to just have that quiet moment and going through your thoughts and just not being able to sleep. And the idea of these two characters coming along and getting together and trying to get through this mental block and this insomnia together, and how perfect the main girl is, how positive she is, how she helps the main guy just go through the insomnia and just bringing the best out of him. Isaki is just perfect. Like, one of my favorite girls, and that's saying a lot because this past season has some really great girls, really great characters in general, but really great girls too. What else can I say? The animation is great. The designs are really good. The slice of life feel is great. The soundtrack is phenomenal. The background shots for the starry nights and the night's life and all that is beautiful. Call of the Night did it really well with the color scheme that I liked. It was blue with purple and white. It really looked good. But this one plays around with the stars so much, and it looks so professional, so good. I don't know, man. It's easily my favorite night like themed anime in a while. After like Call of the Night, and I just had so much fun seeing these characters slowly like turn into a thing per se, like turn into an item. Sidecast works well in being a sidecast. They don't overtake time from the main couple or the main duo. I did really like I really liked Yui, the girl from the arcade. She's also a really great character. I liked her a lot. The sidecasts with the little the group that work with them is really cute too. They just are a plus to the show, and the main duo just really carry the whole idea. Yeah, I really hope to get a season 2 because I enjoyed the heck out of these 12, 13 episodes. It's an S tier. It's not as good as Oshi No Ko, but it's up there, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know, if you like romance, if you like a slice of life, you're gonna enjoy that. This one's going to be hard. This might be tough to say. Maybe if you're a fan of Konosuba, you're going to go against me. I'm a fan of Konosuba. I enjoyed the heck out of Konosuba. It's one of my favorite isekais. But the Megumin prequel is just not it, man. It bored me, honestly. I don't know why, because Megumin is a great character, and I really liked how she interacted with her childhood friend, which is in the original Konosuba. And the cool classmate she has is also cool. But everybody else feels so like it's side cast, but they're like not even there at times. It's just Megumin show, but to have Megumin and not having the rest of the Konosuba crew there, it doesn't work as well. I dropped the show, honestly. I think I got to episode 5 and I just couldn't vibe with it. And I might regret putting it at this low, but it's D+, maybe. I might put it at C, but yeah, it's the best D tier, but it's not saying much. I honestly, if I can't stomach through going through it again, I don't know, man. It's pretty bad. I really hope, and I don't think it's a problem with the new studio, because I think they emulate the Konosuba animation and feel well enough, but I don't know, maybe just Megumin being alone and not really giving us more. I just didn't really care, to be honest. I just want the main crew again, but I don't know. I might change my mind if I continue it, but I really couldn't, so it's between a C or a D, but I'm inclining to D+. I'm just a little upset that it wasn't better. Let's go with the VTuber one, F tier. Right now it's higher than Marginal Service and Opus Colors, but the whole concept of VTubers could have been more interesting, less generic looking as well, but it feels like a boring anime that I couldn't get into. So also I'm not a fan of VTubers, so that's also biased from me. But yeah, it's an F tier. I wouldn't put this over any of the D tiers. So yeah, I might be a little bad in this one, but yeah, it's an F tier. Let's go with Ao no Orchestra, which was Blue Orchestra, right? I enjoyed the first few episodes, but again, I feel like when we got to the arc where the main guy finally gets to play his violin again, which was like 3 episodes, I think, and then they go to the school, I might have just gotten fed up with all of the shows I was watching, but I wasn't vibing with it anymore. And then the CGI came in, and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't like the CGI itself wasn't the reason I stopped watching it, because it is kind of bad. But I don't know, the characters didn't seem interesting to me. The new characters seemed like I wasn't going to really like them that much. Maybe if I was more patient, I might retake it and see if it goes somewhere else, but I feel like the whole concept of the musician or the artist doing something and overcoming adversity and overcoming his own fears and the trauma he had in the past, that was not as good. I think Blue Period did it better. The ballet anime from Dance Dance Dancer did it better. Violin wise, the Your Lie in April did it better. So this one isn't terrible, but I would put it like C-. I would recommend it if you like music, if you like the violin, if you like the idea of these characters, or a character going through trauma with their family and trying to overcome it to do something they enjoy again. You might connect with it, but I didn't connect with it enough to put it over like C tier. let's go with it already. Tengoku Damekyu, S tier, and I'm going second place. It's not as good as Oshi No Ko in my mind, but it's really damn close to me. If you saw my videos for 2022, I enjoyed the heck out of Summertime Render. I'm a big fan of sci-fi and anime, sci-fi, crazy concepts, science stuff. This ordeal with stuff like that, and this show goes the extra mile in being weird. It's a post-apocalyptic Japan, and we have the two main characters going through trying to find heaven, and at the other side of the world or other side of Japan or whatever, we have a school where they are there's like a Promised Neverland kind of deal with some kids being taught by robots, and they're being like kept safe from the outside world. And episode 1 just really captivated me. Like the animation, the details in the backgrounds, the designs for the characters, the expressions, the whole plot of this 2-part story, seeing what will happen with the main characters outside in the world, what's happening with these kids inside of the school. I don't want to go into spoilers because episode 2 goes really, I was not expecting episode 2 and 3 after episode 1. The twist with the protag, the several arcs that we got in through this episode, seeing how the world or this Japan would work with rations, with ideals, with the monsters that are coming out, how they're trying to survive, how rations are going out, how, I don't know, like stuff like that is crazy. Like they explore it really well, and they don't really hold any punches. There is an episode at episode 10 that is really controversial, and I get the controversy. I get that maybe some people felt that it came out of nowhere, but there was a really good explanation at episode for that one that I saw on Twitter, saying that this whole series is talking about how no one has control over their own bodies, over their own selves, how this world is filled with monsters that can take your life in an instant, how the main character didn't really have any choice on what happened to them, how the kids in the orphanage or the Promised Neverland kind of deal didn't really have any choice in being there and being made. I don't know. I don't really want to spoil anything. I think it's an allegory, and I think maybe it's a bit too much. They didn't really show a lot in episode 10. Thankfully, they didn't really go over the top in my mind, like over the top. But that really didn't take anything away from me. I understood the context. I understood why it was there, and it didn't really take from my enjoyment. I really didn't despise the show after that episode. I just really wanted to see the aftermath of that, and it delivered. And I really, really hope this show gets a sequel, because Production IG did a phenomenal job. Again, different directors with their own style, and I really enjoyed episode 9, I believe, with this wacky director and their different take on everything. Everything was really well done. Again, the action, the suspense, the crazy sci-fi logic coming in. Every single arc was really interesting. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really hope it doesn't happen with Production IG with like Aoashi, where they haven't gotten a season 2. Because Aoashi and this deserve a season 2. I don't know. But this might be controversial, but I really enjoyed this one. I really think it's an S tier. It's one of my favorite shows of the year, bar none. And yeah, if you're into sci-fi and crazy situations and post-apocalyptic worlds and no holding back, you're going to love this show. Let's go down to earth a bit, or the show about the the idol girls with space guns, but actually it's not really it. It's like a slice of life idol show. It's fine. I don't think I would put it at F tier. I think it has more substance than these ones as a slice of life, because slice of life gets a little bit more of a pass, but it's nothing special in my book. It's a D minus below everything else at D tier. How about Raeliana? The reason why Raeliana is at the Duke's mansion or something like that. That's another one of one of the big surprises for me. I really enjoyed the show. I think I did mention that it felt like a lot of what the Villainous show tried to do, because they're having a lot of isekai slash shoujo slash well, yeah, it is like a shoujo manga or shoujo video game where she has to change her fate. She has to try to convince people to marry her or be with her so that she can be protected. But it gets kind of serious, kind of political. I like how she is able to find a way to not die, to change her fate. She's really cute also. I think speaking like only design wise, she's my favorite girl from Spring. I really like redheads, but she's spunky, she's nice, she's funny, she's nice, and I like her determination and tenacity. Yeah, Raeliana is a really good character, and I really like her connection with the Duke. I think it's a better Sugar Apple Fairy Tale shoujo. Like, it's better than Sugar Apple Fairy Tale at some points. What keeps me from putting it at A tier might be that some episodes felt a little long, a little slow, and I wouldn't put it at the levels of Dr. Stone, Mashle, or Gundam. But it is my favorite B tier right now. I would put it over My Home Hero and Sacrificial Princess. If you somehow want to jump into shoujo, I would recommend that one at some point. A Galaxy Next Door. I really like the slice of life feel at the beginning. I liked how these two characters connected through the power of them drawing in manga and stuff like that. But what holds it back is the kids, man. I feel like the kids just don't let them develop this little quirky relationship they're trying to have. The main girl is really cute, and she's like very innocent because he is supposed to be like an alien, but she's not. The only knowledge to romance she has is through shoujo manga, and it's cute and I like it, but there's little substance, and when we get substance, it gets interrupted by the kids, and the kid characters are there, and I just didn't really like them that much, and I did drop the show. But I would put this over Birdie Wing. I think not as good as Otaku Elf, but I do think it's a C tier. They were doing good, but I just didn't vibe with it at some point, and I think a lot of people did enjoy it. It has like a 7.13 in my anime list, but I wish it was better. I don't know. I might have been too fed up with a lot of shows, and I just had to drop that one. But I was having decent fun for like a C tier. Yeah, this is an S tier. I think about it a lot, but honestly, I had a lot of fun with this show from start to finish. Hell's Paradise is an S tier too. I would put it behind these three, but I think Mappa delivered on this one again. Hell's Paradise is this show about it's like an ancient Japan in this fantasy world where there's an island where there's supposedly like a live forever kind of thing. And they put in every single all of these killers with their own like samurai henchmen, and the groups are really interesting. Every single like character I really digged. Well, every single character that's important. Like the main cast and the main side characters are really good. I really like the idea of them still being like enemies, but having to band together to fight or try to escape or try to stay alive in this crazy island with this crazy world rules. The island is really inventive. I really like the monsters. I really like the whole concept of immortality that it's working on. What keeps me from putting it maybe higher than Insomniacs would be that there was an episode where they were explaining the otherworldly power, and it just drags along so much. But again, everything else, every single episode apart from that little part of that episode that I'm mentioning, was really fun, really captivating. I really like the main characters. I really like what they did with the other characters. For example, I mean, the Gabimaru is fine, but he's like this head empty character, but still pretty badass. But Yusuriha, the blind guard, the girl who the tomboy, the brothers, they're all so good. I really like the side cast and how they're explored, and I feel like them not backing away from disposing a lot of characters really helps in giving us these set characters that are really important. And I enjoyed the hell out of the action. I enjoyed the hell out of the concepts, of the magic concepts. And I'm really interested to see what they do for Season 2, which I think is already confirmed. So yeah, I don't see putting this at A tier. It's an S tier, for sure, for me. But yeah. Another one that was kind of crazy also in concept, but I think they overdid it, or it wasn't as interesting, is the Magical Destroyers show. Magical Destroyers is a show about weebs going against the government because weebs got, or otaku culture got outlawed in Japan, and they're fighting against them with 3 magical girls and the otaku leader or something. I did say in my video that I felt it was a little dishonest because it just feels like they're copying the trigger feel, the trigger idea, like the reactions, the action, the bad mouthing badass girl and stuff like that. I did give it more of a chance. I did enjoy the first like 2-3 episodes, but I might have been, again, too much anime, and maybe that affected my judgment, but I didn't really find myself watching more of it after that. And it kind of hurts because I appreciate the craziness, I appreciated what they were trying to do, but I didn't vibe with it again. But I do think it's because I just didn't feel that the story and everything meshed together like something like Kill la Kill, or even stuff like from Trigger, you know? So yeah, I would put it at C, but I honestly dropped it, so it feels kind of wrong to put it next to whatever I think whatever Birdie Wing does is better, and that's considering that Season 2 wasn't as good. So Magical Destroyers goes at like D tier, below Two Hit Sister, I believe so, in my mind. But yeah, at the end of the list, I'll try to make a sense of everything. Demon Slayer, I don't think it was as good. Demon Slayer Season 2 is still the peak of the series. I think the final fight was phenomenal. I think the villains were well explored. I really like the epilogue with them. I really like the explanation of why they are like this and stuff like that. And I feel, and while there were a lot of cool moments with Season 3 and Tanjiro, Nezuko, the new moons were really cool. The fights were inventive. I liked the animation. I mean, the animation is top notch as always. Ufotable does a phenomenal job. The sentimental moments were there, but the villains were kind of a disappointment. Not in terms of animation. I think they did what they did well enough, but compare these two villains with what they did with the last arc, and what they did with the train arc, and what they did with the spider demon in season 1. No real background, no real fleshed out characters from them. They just felt like they're evil and they're sadistic, and that's that. And I do feel there's an issue with Demon Slayer that whenever they defeated the first demon, it was this heroic, crazy moment, and now they defeated 2 out of the gate, and the jar water guy felt more easy than the others. So I don't know. I really like Demon Slayer. I enjoyed seeing this every week, but in terms of quality, I think this and season 1 are pretty much at the same point, where I would give it like a B tier. Highest B tier from these, but it would be a B tier. I think compared to the others, it's not that good. The movie and season 2 were better, but still a really enjoyable season. My Clueless first friend was cuteness overload, as I said. I really enjoyed seeing this kid, this rizzed out kid, by pure accident, just making Akane blush like crazy. It was so damn cute. I enjoyed all of it. But what stops me from putting this over like the other romance shows in this season was the simplicity and the continuity. I did mention in my video that I enjoyed the concept of my Clueless first friend because I am a big fan of Takagi-san, for example, and I enjoy how Taiyo still makes her blush because of how secure he is, and now he's certain that he likes her for some reason. She just likes her because she's her. But I feel like Taiyo at times was really, really ignorant to what was going on, and every time the classmates still freaking gave Akane a hard time for being the devil, or the Grim Reaper, until like the last episode. I was like, okay, it's been 8 episodes, stop bullying her. You know Taiyo is going to be oblivious and be like, oh no, she's freaking perfect because she's great, she's scary, but she's scary beautiful and stuff like that. I don't know, stuff like that. And it got repetitive a lot. Taiyo being too oblivious kind of hurt it for me a bit in going higher, but at the same time, the moments, the sad moments, the real moments, like when Taiyo and Akane went to the Akane's family grave, and how that was a really sad scene. How she helped prepare her mother's grave was so sad, and how Taiyo realized how insensitive he might have come up as. Which he wasn't, but it was so cute and so emotional, and then how he was more determined with his feelings was really cute as well. Sidecasts are fine. I think, again, the repetitive nature hits a lot with like Daichi, with the whole tank top thing. Umi was just like this fangirl for them. Sumire was this tsundere girl, but she was fine. The sister was funny. But yeah, overall, really cute. But I don't see myself putting it at like A tier. It's between C and B, but seeing these shows, I do think My Clueless First Friend is better than all of C tier. So I'm putting it at lower B, below Sacrificial Princess. I think Sacrificial Princess's relationship works a little better. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more. And I don't know. It's tough. It's between these two. They're kind of interchangeable, but yeah, I would put it right there. But I still really enjoyed it, and I would like to see more of them if they give them a season 2. Oh, the the Yuri Is My Job show with the cafe, with the girl being obligated to work on the cafe without any reason. I despise this show so much, man. I don't hate the concept of Yuri, because if you do Yuri show and Yuri things well, if you do the relationship well, that's fine. And I'll be honest, I didn't reach the point where Yuri feelings went through. It was more tsundere girl being a dick, being a bitch, honestly, in the cafe, and then the classmate girl working in the cafe, even though main girl the main girl who was very shallow still still works there, even though she shouldn't. I don't know, man. I just didn't like the toxic nature of the show. I didn't like how she was being obligated to work there, how she was being bullied. I don't know. It just felt bad. Maybe it isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe it isn't as bad as I'm putting it out to be. But I just really didn't enjoy watching it. I did give it a chance for about 2 episodes or 3, and I just didn't like it. I would put it at F tier. It's not as bad as these 3, but it's still pretty bad in my opinion. It's an F tier for me. I just didn't enjoy it, and not because of the Yuri. It's just because of the nature and the mean-spiritedness and all of that. So yeah, it's an F tier for me. For example, Rokudo's Bad Girls. The whole concept of this guy hypnotizing girls into being into him. You already hear that, and that's a red flag. That sounds like something out of a hentai. Let's be honest. But Rokudo is a nice guy. These guys are in a school full of bullies and punks, and well, he gets a scroll from his dead grandpa. He magically gets the power to attract girls, or bad girls in this case, and he uses that to actually help the girls grow. And there's a loophole here where if the girl turns into a good girl, the spell wears off and stuff like that. So I feel like that kind of works at some levels, you know. I dropped it though at the episode where the motorbike girl went in, because I felt like it takes its time to develop the whole world building and stuff, and I wasn't really into it that much, if I'm going to be completely honest. Designs don't really help it look good to like push me into watching it. But again, I think if this had better designs, better animation, this could have been a really good show. Maybe more popular, because I think this went under the radar a lot because of the animation and the designs. And again, maybe if there were less good shows, I might have given it more of a chance. But I think it was more entertaining from the episodes that I watched than like Megumin and the One Hit Kill Sister. So it's a lower C tier. Maybe I might change that later, but I don't know. I'm between C and D here. At the same time, I also think C tier would be good for Too Cute Crisis, which I did explain is just a show where an alien is coming down to Earth to check if there's something that'll save the Earth from being destroyed, and she finds out that there's cute animals, and she's overreacts and she's dying from all of the cuteness. And yeah, basically it's like a cute like slice of life comedy, and but the designs, the animation aren't that great. I think it's really repetitive as well, but not something I would sit down in such a busy season. I wouldn't sit down to see it. Maybe if I wasn't really watching anime, if I wasn't trying to make content, I would maybe watch it. But right now, I would put it like at C tier, just maybe at the bottom, next, right above Rokudo's Bad Girls, because this looks better than Rokudo's Bad Girls. But yeah, I would put it at C tier. It's inoffensive, but I wouldn't put it lower because it's not bad. It's just, if you're not in the mood for slice of life and little to no consequence and stuff like that, I wouldn't really mind. I wouldn't really bother. The big surprise for a lot of people, I think this is one that really came through after a really questionable first episode. The Dangers in My Heart. Wow, this one is tough to talk about because if you watch my video, I did say that I felt a lot of cringe from the main protagonist just being this Chunibu / emo kid that is going through his phase of killing everything and just not wanting to be there, and then trying to kill the the tall model girl, and then all of a sudden falling in love with her. And the girl just being this dunce, just being this overly innocent kind of glutton girl. I don't know, I wasn't a fan of it at first. It also didn't help that the sidecast was really into making pervy jokes. I don't really like when they combine pervy etchiness with this like demographic like the high school thing. It's normally I don't like that, but that almost took me out of it. But at the end of the first episode, there was a glimmer of hope. I saw that the main character, the main guy, was trying to change. He was trying to actually help the girl, and there was something. There was like a little spark of like, hey, maybe this is good. Maybe this has some good rom-com in it. And I'm so happy that it took off and it convinced me to continue because I really enjoyed the show. I might say that if you dropped it at like episode 3, you need to come back. If you're a big rom-com fan and you don't mind a little bit of etchiness, a little bit of fan service, and some dumb sexual jokes, you're missing out on a weird little couple with Ichikawa, the short Chunibu, and this pure sunshine of a girl, Yamada, who is, she's very considerate, very funny, but also really dumb. But she's trying her best, and this combination of these two characters just works somehow. And I really enjoyed the way they're trying to connect, how Ichikawa overcomes his little character little detour of being like this emo to being more open to protecting and actually liking life and liking Yamada. I don't know, it's really weird to talk about. Animation is great. I think they nailed the rom-com feel really well. Yamada's little bursts of cuteness work really well too. It's tough because I was kind of cheering for them as well, so I like that kind of rom-com feel. Would I put this as S tier? No. I do see a lot of people putting this as their top anime of spring, but I don't think I wouldn't personally put this at S tier. There's a few episodes, again, the first few episodes are a little bit of a barrier. You need to continue and see what else there is to really enjoy it. Once Ichikawa understands what he's feeling and what's going on with his mind and what he thinks of Anna, or Yamada, I mean, it gets so better. It's like night and day. But before that, there is this barrier of cringiness, and even after episode 4, there is still some jokes that I really don't like. The kind of pervy jokes with the sidecast, which the sidecast feels meh. There are some good sidecast characters after a few episodes that really develop, but the other characters, the guys, are really, I hate the guys. The other guys just suck, to be honest. Some of the girlfriends Yamada has are good, but this show really does focus on just Ichikawa and Yamada. And even though the sidecasts do lose some points for me, and I can't appreciate the etchiness at times, it just it's this really feel-good story that I really enjoyed. I'm putting this at A, and I think it's at the top of A tier. I really enjoyed Dr. Stone, but yeah, I really enjoyed this show too. It's probably the best surprise out of this season. And even though it's not S tier for me, it's still a big recommendation for like rom-com fans and stuff. I would recommend this show a lot. Yeah, it's definitely an A tier for me. How about Megumi no Cafe, which was the cafe where there were 5 freeloading girls with a guy, and now they're working together at a cafe. I wasn't really a fan of it. Episode 1 gives us a bit of like this nostalgic feel for the guy because he did lose his grandma, and how he's coming back and he's trying to revive this cafe for her in memory of her per se. And then these girls are here, and then we go into the ecchi nonsense, and they feel like token anime girls, to say the least. Like the serious but cool girl, the tsundere girl, the sporty girl who doesn't care that she's always like semi-naked, the shy girl who is actually like really crazy and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not into harem anime. I did see a lot of people enjoying it, and I'm fine with you guys liking like harem anime, but personally I wasn't really into it, and I couldn't go further with it. I think it's not as bad as D tier though. I did enjoy some parts. I would put it maybe at D tier. It's a tough one. It's between C and D, like minor C or D. I would put it at C minus, like at the bottom, but maybe over Rokudo's Bad Girls. Maybe Rokudo's going down to D. Yeah, I would put Rokudo at D, but over Megumin. Yeah, I would put it like that. Oh, it was the legendary hero is dead. Oh man, I did not have a good impression of this show at the beginning either. I think the pervy jokes, the whole idea with the I mean, I get it why he likes thighs. I mean, I understand, bro. I get your why you're doing it, but kind of dumb. I didn't really get the joke. I wasn't really laughing, and I felt like it was going to be overused, and it sort of is. Sidecast is fine. I really like how he actually tries, how the whole concept of him taking over the hero's body works, and how he's losing mana fast because he's not as powerful as the hero. And how all of that works, how he has to lie about being the hero and stuff like that. But I did drop it after a few episodes because it went into ecchi nonsense, and I felt like it was going to be repetitive. Some of the girls just don't feel like there wasn't enough substance to the girls either. So would I say it's worse than anything in D tier? No, I did enjoy it more than anything in D tier. I feel like I'm putting Megumin's show so down at D tier, but I just really didn't like it. I would say the legendary hero is dead is better than D3. It's not as good as Birdie Wing, but it's better than these 3 here at C tier. We'll see. I'm still not solely convinced. We'll see at the end of the video when I move everything, but yeah, that would be where I put the legendary hero is dead. The second isekai for the second time, generic. Even if you put the guy in the isekai again, and they only took like episode 1 to say, yeah, we got the crew back together, I'm back in this isekai, let's go. It's harem heavy. He has, and it has no need to be, because he has his past crew. He has his classmate, childhood classmate that secretly likes him. And then we have more girls coming in that's going to be part of his harem. I just didn't like it, and it felt like the comedy was really trying to, in episode 1, trying to be Konosuba without being Konosuba. I didn't like episode 2 and 3 with the little girl plot, so I dropped it. I would put it below One Hit Kill Sister, honestly. Yeah, I would put it there. At this point with isekais, you need to have a good hook, you need to have a good concept, good characters, because everything is looking samey, even though if you put something different like, oh, it's my second time being in an isekai, it's still not gonna be good if the characters are boring, it's still not gonna be good if everything is repeated from other shows, so yeah, I don't know. But from there, well, let's see. How about Dead Mount Dead Plate? Pretty edgy title, as I said in my video, and I really, really liked the first episode. But the rest of the show is mix and match with what they're doing. The whole concept of the Demon Lord being the one to go into the new world and taking over this kid who is part of a family of like underworld, not like a rich underworld kind of thing, and then there's more how can I say this, more villains, more monsters, more stuff that might have come from the same world is really interesting. I think what this show needs to do though for season 2 is be more calm with what they're putting, because this show did not stop. Like it was throwing a lot of like stuff at you, and it was going through a lot of stuff at the time, and I was getting lost at some episodes. But I like the main character, I like the side girl, I like the cast, I like the the villain that was like a magician that reminded me a lot of My Hero Academia. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. But I just hope that if they do have a second season, that they take their time to explain things, to just, I don't know, just take their time. I just don't overforce it with the fast pace, you know? But I liked it. It's a solid B tier, but it's at the bottom, but it's still like a B tier for me. Let's go with X and Y. This one was surprise. X and Y started off really cool. I really liked the concept of them going through this escape room idea of this escape room not just being the escape room physically, but how they're haunted by a ghost of an escape room, and how this detective or this office worker is now affecting other people because he's haunted by this weird lady. Although it's not as strong as like Link Click. It's not even close, but when it gets like dramatic, when it gets when it has tension, when it has the puzzles and you actually have to kind of think about them a little bit, it's good. But when they have, I think a lot of Chinese anime are going to have trouble with like conversations, because maybe translation is not as good for us, but it felt like really stiff at times, so it loses some points there. I would say it's the second best C tier I saw. I'm still watching it, but maybe if it has a great ending, I might put it at B. But for now, it's a C tier below Otaku Elf for me. Still, I am glad I gave it a chance, you know? Ooh, Final 4. I don't know where to put this one. KamiKatsu, dude. Wow. KamiKatsu had one of the best first episodes in terms of surprising me, because I did not expect anything out of that episode. Like, wow. The unintentional funniness of the comedic timing, the perviness, the main character just being like this mastermind of whatever he's trying to do to this world, the god aspect. Oh my god, it felt like the animation, the different types of animation, the CGI. There's so much to unpack on this show, and I was going to do some commentary on it, but I just really couldn't grab some time. And yeah, I had a lot of expectations for it. Unfortunately, I do feel like after the love arc, it kind of fell off. I think they were struggling to know what to do. Maybe they were struggling with money because the animation takes a toll. Like, there's some animation that looks really good, and there's some animations with the CGI that looks terrible. The infamous tractor scene is just so bad, but it feels so intentional that every time it came up, I laughed at it. It came up at the opening of the last episode, and like, they knew what they were doing. In terms of show-wise, this is like a C, maybe a D tier, dude. But as an experience, I had so much fun with it. Honestly, it's this is gonna be bonkers, but I'm gonna put it like at like B tier over Sacrificial Princess and A Clueless First Friend. It's not quality-wise, it shouldn't be this high. It should be like a C or D. But I had so much fun, and I laughed so hard with all the dumb animation, the mistakes and the pervs jokes and stuff. If it didn't go through the love arc, I might have put it at A tier, but I still really enjoyed it. But damn, I actually might put it. Let's see. I'm gonna put Death Note, Deathplay over these two, and I'm gonna put this actually at the bottom of B tier. I just think about it a bit more, but yeah, I really enjoyed it still. I enjoyed it more than any of these C tiers, so I can't put it any lower. Final 3. Let's go with Yamada-kun. Yamada-kun to level 999. Oh my god, I might get some flack for this one. I think it's a better rom-com than The Dangers in My Heart. Akane is such a joy of a character, dude. I love these characters so much. And Akane is this realistic take on a girl who is trying her best, but is just having so many consequences to wanting to be in love, wanting to be obsessed with loving somebody, with her life, with being perfect, and just breaking down so dramatically and getting drunk and stuff like that. And her interactions with Akito and with Yamada were really cute, really funny, and then when it escalated was really cute as well. Like, I cheered for her so much. She's probably it's tough. She's like top 3 anime girls from the season. I don't know. It's really tough to pin down anime girls at this point. But yeah, like, I love the show. I'm between S and A tier, dude. I really like the changes in animation. I really like the changes in style that divide between the lovey-dovey stuff and the comedy. Yeah, it's really good. As a rom-com, I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, I might change it, but it's an S tier below these 4, but it's an S tier for me. I just really like the main pair. The side cast works well in supporting them, but they don't overstay their welcome. The world building with the video game world, the romantic moments, and just the kind of being Akane. It's just so cute. The changes in animation, the designs, is just the effects for the arcs, the side plot with the girl who with the glasses girl who liked Akito. Yamada's plot also was really good because, well, yeah, he's a younger kid, but how he was uninterested with love was also really interesting. Yeah, I might have to think it through at the end of the video, but it's an S tier for me. And I'm going with Ousama ranking here, the book of the treasure box of treasure or whatever. People are sleeping on this damn season so hard, and I hate it, dude. I understand why. The episode 1 of this like little side, like season 1.5 is slow. It's kind of not needed. It's Bochi just trying to help a little girl, and then just a little training arc, and it doesn't really help in the plot at all. Maybe episode 2 does the same thing. But after episode 3, when they focused more on the plot again, like after actually giving us extra content and stuff like that, was really nice to see. We got more information on Despa and Desha's the past of them. We saw what happened to Oken, and it was really gritty and really tough to watch at times. Maybe we got some backstory. We got more on Miranjo. We got more on Daida. We got more on healing, and we got like episode 6 or 7 where we got more of Bochi after he got coronated, and it was so cute and so nice. Him trying to find Kage again before that. How he was saying goodbye to his royalty crew. Daida getting more stuff to do, more for Miranjo, which was cute. And then we got like the OVA of the season, like season 2 part 1, and it was so damn good. I mean, if you enjoy Ousama ranking and you didn't see this season, at least check out the last episode. It's the continuation. It's not even extra. It's the continuation to Ousama ranking, and whatever we're gonna get whenever we're gonna get the movie or season 2. But yeah, if you're an Ousama ranking fan, just try to skip like episode 1 and 2 maybe. But you're going to, if you like these characters, if you like this world building, if you like whatever extra we got, you're going to enjoy this show. And I think a lot of people underrate it unjustly. I do acknowledge that maybe it's not as tense, it's not as important as the normal show throughout all of it. It's only 10 episodes, so like 7 out of 10 episodes were really good. And the first episodes were a little bit extra only. So I wouldn't put it at S tier, but it's a solid A, and I would put it at the top of A tier for me. It's really good. And again, if you saw my videos last year, you know I'm a big Ousama ranking fan, but this is really needed if you're as big as an Ousama ranking fan as I am. And at the very least, see episode 10. You will not regret it. And we also get baby Kage and baby Bochi again, so it's so cute, dude. The animation is still at the top of its peak at times. Maybe sometimes it takes a hit, but honestly, it's always so good when Wit Studios does its best with this kind of show. So yeah, just A all around, A+. And the last one, Skip to Loafer, is peak slice of life. Oh my god, I love these characters. This cast of characters is so good. And I hate that it's so underrated because I'm so worried that this isn't gonna get a season 2. But PA Works, again, just delivered so hard on another show that seemed like out of nowhere. Mitsumi is one of the purest girls in anime, and she's so honest and so nice and so likable. I just really like her a lot, dude. And Sosuke is... Man, with Sosuke, he's this chill guy, but he also has his trauma and all that, and the way they explore it is so good. Mika, the growth in her from these episodes, how that works. Yuzuki, Nao-chan, how they really worked well with a character that's... I think they are trans? I'm not really sure. Narumi, Makoto, the side characters, every single side character is really good. It's like the instance with Insomniacs, but I think the side cast is a little bit better than Insomniacs After School, if not just better. It's really tough not to love every character. Just wanted to see how what they're gonna do, how they advance the plot, how what is going to happen with Mitsumi and Sosuke. Maybe they're gonna get together, maybe not. It doesn't matter. I just really like how Mitsumi evolves from being this city, this country girl, going into the city. How Sosuke just tries to be less, I don't know, the troubles he's having. Mika trying to be less shallow. I don't know. Yuzuki opening up. The shy girl opening up as well. I mean, it's so good, and I really like to see these characters interact and have fun together, and maybe there is drama and it works so well. The animation is so good. PA Works already like had my respects, but the effects on the emotions for these characters fit so well. The detailed environments, the detailed city, the detailed school, the detailed when Mitsumi went back to her home. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say. It's really damn good. It's phenomenal, and it's going to be a crime if this doesn't get a season 2. Honest to God, it's really good. I really enjoyed all of these characters. It's one of my favorite slice of life shows in a while. Like, wow. It's S tier, obviously, but I don't think it's better than Oshi No Ko. And personally, I think I favor Tengoku a little bit. I would put this over Insomniacs just by a little. It's neck and neck between these two, but I just really enjoyed Skip to Loafer, and there isn't really even that much romance in this one, but the slice of life concepts, the characters are so likable. It's just so good. I had to go with S tier. And there you have it. This is my list. This is my tier list for now. Let's just review. F tier, I'm okay with F tier. Opus Colors is the worst one. Marginal Service was really bad too. The VR tours was meh. And this is just me being petty, but I just hated the toxicity of the show. And I feel like this one, at least being a slice of life show, has more grounds to being like over this one. I don't know. I don't know. Yuri Is My Job just felt like too much drama and too much mean-spiritedness for nothing, you know? D tier, I'm not sure if Magical Destroyers deserves a bit more, but maybe it does. I would put it over Isekai for a second time. Isekai for a second time just feels meh. These two, you know what? For the concept itself, I am putting Magical Destroyers over One Hit Kill Sister. One Hit Kill Sister has some really good animation and designs, but it gets held back too much from the main characters just being cringe, you know? So yeah. Megumin, I think Megumin just slightly is better than the Magical Destroyers, but there's not enough substance in Megumin to put her over D tier, I believe. Rokudo's Bad Girl stays at D. Maybe. No, let's do this. Rokudo's Bad Girls goes back to C tier, but stays at the bottom, and Megumin is the top of D tier. I think Megumin is my D tier just in general, you know? Megumin no Cafe. You know what? I enjoyed whatever I saw from Rokudo's Bad Girls more than this one, but I am keeping this one. You know what? No, let's go. It's going back to D tier, and it is going over Megumin. I enjoyed it a bit more, but I don't see this at the same level as these shows. So Rokudo stays here. Atop of C tier is Otaku Elf is fine. B tier, I really enjoyed. I ironically enjoyed KamiKatsu. Clueless First Friend is fine there. Sacrificial Princess, Dead No Death Play. My Home Hero was really good. Raeliana over Home Hero I think is solid. And Demon Slayer was the best B tier. So yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed the majority of Gundam, so I'm keeping it at the bottom of A tier. Mashle, Dr. Stone, Danger in My Heart over these three is fine. Ousama ranking stays at the top at A tier. And Yamada-kun. Is Yamada-kun better than these other ones? Oh wow, this is a tough one. Oshi No Ko is the best one, obviously, for me. Tengoku is second, and Skip to Loafer is third. That's my top three. Insomniacs stays at S, and Hell's Paradise also stays at S. So my last one that I'm thinking about is Yamada-kun. You know what? I really enjoy Akane a lot. And I don't remember an episode where I was hoping it ended. So I'm keeping Yamada at S tier. Lower S tier, but it's still S tier for me. That's how I'm seeing it. I think I think that's my tier list for spring 2023. So yeah, pretty freaking strong with 6 S tiers and 5 A tiers, and everything else is still good at B and C. So it was a strong season. I really enjoyed talking about them. I know this video was long. I didn't edit anything. If you're still here with me at the hour 44-minute mark, thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. I don't know where we'll go from here with the channel. Again, I might change jobs. I might change focus on what I'm doing. But I am still watching the summer shows. Maybe I'm not going to talk about every new show in the next recap, but I will try to let you know what I'm enjoying the most. And yeah, I don't know, guys. It's right now I'm just happy to keep talking with you. And this video, hopefully, is the last one I do unedited. But if it's unedited, you know why, you know. But yeah, basically this is my tier list. So yeah. If you think I'm wrong in any of them, let me know. If you think what's your favorite show from spring, let me know as well. Spring is still big on my mind. I'm still trying to watch summer, but I think spring just rocked a lot. So I really enjoyed it. So it's gonna keep on my mind for a bit still. But let me know what was your favorite, what was your least favorite, what you agree with me, what you disagree with me, and all of that. And what you're watching for summer and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great one, and thank you so much for keeping up with the channel. I really hope we can continue going forward, but we'll see in the future, you know. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you can, and I'll see you all for the next one.